Hi there, I'm Veena and welcome to Patty Cake. Today I'm sharing a soft, melt in the mouth orange cake recipe. I'm showing you two easy versions, one with eggs and the other without, so everyone can enjoy making it. The best part is, for both cakes, the batter comes together in under 10 minutes. This cake is perfect for the holiday season and could also be a lovely treat for New Year celebrations. Now, let's get baking. We'll start with the first recipe, the one with eggs. I'm using Kino oranges, but you could also use the smaller Indian santras. Let's scrape the zest of one orange. Don't scrape the bitter white pith. This should be around 2 tablespoons. In case you use santras, the zest will be hard to scrape off. In that case, here's what you could do. Scoop out the inner part of the squeezed out orange. Scrape away the white pith, which will be very little in a santra, and then finely chop the zest. Like this, okay? And here's half a cup of orange juice that I extracted from 2 oranges. We'll be using the orange zest and juice in this recipe. Here I have 3/4 of a cup or 160 grams of granulated sugar. Let's grind it coarsely. Like this. Now we'll mix the sugar and the orange zest. I'll switch to doing this with my hand so I can crush the zest to release its oil and flavor. This will give our cake its flavorful, melt-in-the-mouth texture. Next, to a mixing bowl, let's transfer half a cup of oil. The oil will keep the cake soft and moist for a longer time. To it, we'll add a 1/4 cup of melted salted butter that will add to the flavor of the cake. Let's whisk the butter and oil together. And then add in 5 tablespoons of yogurt, the sugar mixture, the orange juice, and 2 eggs. And whisk everything well. Let's stir in a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Now let's move to the dry ingredients. This is 240 grams or 1 3/4 cups plus 2 tablespoons of maida or all-purpose flour. To it, we'll add 1 teaspoon of baking powder and half a teaspoon of baking soda. Let's mix this for a few seconds and then sift it into the liquid mixture. We'll whisk the batter for a minute or 2 so that everything is well combined. Let's switch to a spatula and check the batter consistency. It should have a thick ribbon consistency, like this. But if your batter is too thin, mix in a tablespoon or 2 of maida. If it's too thick, stir in a little water or orange juice. I don't need to make any adjustments to the batter. Finally, let's stir in half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Orange and vanilla flavors go very well together. And then we'll transfer the batter to a greased and dusted 8-inch round pan with parchment paper at the bottom. Note the texture of the batter. Let's tap the pan a few times on the work surface to remove any air bubbles. And then add a topping of mixed nuts. I'm adding a mix of cashew nuts, almonds, and pistachios. I'll move this to my preheated oven and bake it at 160 degrees centigrade, that's 325 Fahrenheit, for around 45 minutes or till a skewer inserted into it comes out clean. Here's our cake after 45 minutes of baking. Let me do the skewer test again for your benefit. The skewer is clean. Now we'll cover the cake and let it cool in the pan a little for around 20 minutes and then we'll unmold it. In the meanwhile, let's start on the eggless orange cake recipe. In this recipe too, we'll use both orange zest and orange juice. Let's mix 1.5 tablespoons of orange zest with 3/4 of a cup or 80 grams of powdered sugar. Crushing the zest as I do this using my hand. Let's keep this aside and in a mixing bowl, let's whisk 1/4 cup of oil, the sugar mixture and 1/3 cup of orange juice. And then stir in 2 pinches of salt. Here I have 1¼ cups or 155 grams of maida. To it, I'll add 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and 5 tablespoons of milk powder or dairy whitener. And give everything a rough stir. And then sift it into the liquid mixture. Let's mix everything and switch to a spatula. At this stage, the batter will be quite thick. Here I have 1/4 cup of milk, but I'll add in just around 2 tablespoons of it to start with. Then I'll add around 1 tablespoon more and the rest of the milk. We are looking for a thick ribbon consistency. Now the consistency seems just right. So finally, let's stir in 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract and then transfer it to a prepared loaf pan that is lined with parchment paper at the bottom. The pan's dimensions are 8.5 by 4.5 inches. A slightly smaller loaf pan too will do. Let's add a topping of mixed nuts. I'll bake this at 160 degrees or 325 Fahrenheit for around 40 minutes. Here's the baked cake after 40 minutes. The skewer is clean. We'll cover this cake too and let it cool in the pan a little for around 20 minutes before unmolding it. Now let's unmold the first cake. It has baked perfectly and is nice and soft. Let's cut a wedge. Wow! Take a closer look at this. Doesn't it look good? Now we'll unmold the second cake, the eggless cake. This one too has baked beautifully. Let's slice it. Just look at that. Look at how spongy it is. Now it's time to taste the cake. It's so soft and so tasty. You'll surely enjoy the lovely subtle orange flavor. So those were 2 easy ways to make a soft, super tasty orange cake. I'm telling you, the deliciousness of both cakes is amazing. Before I sign off, let me wish all of you and your families a very happy New Year.